There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's up, and welcome into episode number 107 of the Program Guys podcast. My name is Mason Prince, joined with you as always by Ryan Tyson, Matt Gann, Mark Hall. Today, no Patrick Hertzberger. Today is Wednesday, January 31st. Be sure to like, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. Help us out. Cost you $0. Helps us more than you know. If you're watching this video, comment down below. Let us know if you're subscribed or not. We appreciate all the support as always. You can follow us on all of our social media at Program Guys with a Z on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that good stuff. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Find us there for all your audio listening needs. Gentlemen, how we living? I want to start with Matt Gann. Matt Gann, the guy's back. How are we doing, brother?
I've made a few dollars since I've been gone, and I'm happy to be back. This is the best place to be. Banter with the guys. That's what I want some tonight. Need some more banter.
What's better than this? What's better than this? Guys being dudes, man.
Matt's made exactly $2 since the last time we saw him last. $1 a week, baby.
Yeah, another week, another dollar. Ryan, gotta love it. Ryan on mute to start. We're off to a hot start, baby.
We're here. We're here, and I'm off mute now. Thank you, guys.
Good.
I just want to say that Mason, you look fantastic in that shirt.
Really good. Thank you, man.
Like you just look so good.
It does me some favors that I don't deserve, but I enjoy it.
It's wild. Like, you keep buying mediums though.
Yeah, I just like
dude. I swear it's a large. I swear on my. I swear
100% a size down,
brother. I swear on my life, it's a large, but it's a vintage cut. It's a vintage cut.
Do you just take your shirts and throw them in the dryer and turn them on like the highest temperature possible?
Dude, I used to.
They will shrink.
I used to, but I can't anymore because I'm too thick now with a C. Boy. With a C. Speaking of which, it's funny. I was getting fitted for a suit for something that will remain nameless, and I was getting fitted, and the lady was measuring me. And I put on this shirt.
Oh, she probably loved that experience.
And I go, this is quite a large shirt. And she goes, no, it's not. And I go, no, I think I need like the slim version. And she goes, that is the slim version. And folks, not to toot my own horn here, but I used to work in television. I wore a suit every day for like 3 years. That was not a fitted shirt. That was not a slim fit shirt. So like, that's a tough thing. Because I wasn't going to be the asshole who told her she was wrong. Like, she's the one who works at the suit store, not me. But, like, I don't know. It was interesting.
So now you get the non-slim shirt at the event.
She says it's slim. She says it's slim. She also gave me a pair of short pants.
This seems like just like a losing situation.
Yeah, she gave me a pair of short pants. And I go, these pants seem short. She goes, yeah, they're the short. And I go, okay, I don't need the short.
But you have the tendency to wear short pants at weddings.
I do.
Oh shit! Was I not supposed to say what we were talking about?
It doesn't matter. It's a wedding. Yeah, I mean,
they're the short. Yeah, why?
Yeah, I go, they're short, and she goes, yeah, no, we don't have another kind. And I go, so I'm just shit out of luck? And she's like, no, we order them and it comes in. And I go, then why am I here? Like, what am I doing? And she's just it was a wild scenario.
Oh, so she didn't have it there for you to try on. Yes. That makes sense. But
the shirt she claimed was slim fit, which was not. Like, I looked at the tag and it just said fitted shirt. That's not slim fit. That's not slim fit. Whatever.
The guy at the store near me is very helpful. He's helped me for multiple events now with sizing up and then sizing up again the next time. You know how it gets. Yeah. I can't imagine if it's just like someone who's not very helpful at their job. That guy's like really nice. We talk ball.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
good.
She seemed like a swell gal, and like she wasn't busy. I mean, by my accounts, she wasn't busy. Like, I was
Absolutely
just
throwing shade to this
I was
woman. Just
quite
maybe she was
baffled.
having a bad day, and you
I
were
was quite
you were
baffled.
just like
Also,
the
hey,
person there.
let's call a spade a spade. She got me these pants and I put them on. They were like so tight around the waist. I go, man, this is not a thing. And she like, there's a side like
This happened to
release,
me. This
and
happened
I
to me.
didn't know that. And
This happened to me.
I was like, okay, these pants, and I didn't say this, but I was like, these pants aren't even close. What was she measuring? Because they were already short, right? And then she like released the thing, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll shut up. Like, I'm not gonna say anything else. Like, maybe she knows what she's doing. Matt, you get it, right? You get it.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, being a soccer guy, I have big thighs, so it's always hard to find pants. Always hard to
Soccer
find
or
pants.
tennis?
Yeah,
Both.
soccer or
Well,
tennis.
both.
Both.
Both help with the big thigh problem. So
Yeah. Light show. We might talk Australian Open, Matt.
No,
well,
No, we won't. We won't. We won't. I
we're
can
not
promise
doing
you.
that.
Yeah.
We're absolutely not doing that.
But yeah, sorry. If you're still with us, we're
This
gonna
is the
talk
off season,
sports. Yeah,
baby.
we're
I
gonna
mean,
talk.
it's just like this
We're
is
gonna
what we
talk
do.
OU. We're gonna talk OU stuff. National Signing Day coming up next week. Next Wednesday, by the way.
I
For
forgot about
those
that.
who didn't know, I got a reminder from the school that I work at about it, and I was like, "Oh, I totally forgot about that." So yeah, February 7th is National Signing Day. So I don't think OU is going to add anybody, but at least not like from the high school ranks. Like they I don't know. And the transfer portal just kind of closed out at the last minute, right? Because OU added. Let's go ahead and jump into it. OU edition, the offensive lineman from Washington, correct? Remind me
Yes.
of his name.
What
I'm
is his name?
I'm blanking.
Wow, we are so good at this
I'm
off-season
blanking.
thing.
I forgot. We have three other bodies.
just
You guys
banter.
can't help me?
Guys, it's
Banter.
like Geirean Hatchett. I don't know exactly how to
No
say it.
one
but
knows.
No one wants to say that name.
Guys- you
That's
guys
not
ever-
a fun one.
You guys ever
But-
seen Tommy Boy? Buddy Wackett? That's what I thought of when I heard that name.
Well, Geirean Hatchett started in 4 games last year, appeared in 12, could be a plug and play guy at the right guard position after losing McCabe Tower. And maybe not. Maybe there's other guard, guys at guard that they like. There's Infinity dudes named Jake. The North
Yeah.
Texas transfer is already slated to come in and play that position. So you don't really know, but God, this is exactly what you want with that kind of depth. I saw some social media stuff online where his grandpa was a big Sooners fan, and there's pictures of him like at Oklahoma wrestling events back in the day with
Pretty dope.
his grandpa. Apparently, OU was the first school to offer him when he was in the or not when he was in the portal, when he was in high school. So lots of little fun ties back to Oklahoma. And again, it is cool to see Brent Venables and co. working on those ties and getting a guy back to Oklahoma in that way. I don't think he's actually from Oklahoma, but having those ties, I'm going to count it as a win for the philosophy.
For sure, W. For sure, W.
I think this dude is like literally a starter, probably immediately.
Credit where it's
and I think Mark is on mute, or he's just agreeing with me
No, he's
silently,
agreeing.
miming, which is great. But this is like when we have been talking about during the offseason, at the end of the season, we were like the most concerned about the offensive line room. And we saw this massive exodus happening from Washington because of the Nick Saban kind of domino effect that was occurring. All of us were like, we have to get one of these guys from Washington because they're great. I mean, we saw them against Texas, and they were great. They gave Penix a ton of time. They were less great against Michigan, but they were solid all year long. And we need experience, we need talent, and we just need, honestly, more bodies in that room. And this guy, triple check on all of those, right? I would not be surprised if he is a starter immediately. I think he's right tackle, right? At that right tackle position. Guard.
Yeah,
Right
I saw
guard. Thank you.
guard. Okay.
I think we were
Guard.
also recruiting a tackle from Washington. I don't
Got
know
it.
what the deal
Okay.
is there.
That's probably where I got that mixed up. So I think he's gonna. I don't know. My gut is that he's gonna start immediately. Who knows though? He might come into the system. He might take a little bit of time to learn everything. But anyway, huge get for Bill B, and huge get for just the Sooners in general.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have a very talented quarterback next year, but is he going to have time to throw the ball to our great wide receiver core?
Yeah.
This is helping that. So
Friend of the program, Josh Calloway, tweeted when it dropped that Oklahoma lands Washington transfer offensive lineman Geirean Hatchett, major pickup for Bill Beanbaugh, high probability he's a plug and play starter at right guard. So that's from the beat man Josh Calloway. Matt, anything to add, brother?
2 years eligibility, and he's coming from the best offensive line in the country, winners of the Joe Moore Award, which is what was given to Washington. OU won it a few years back when we had a very dominant offensive line. But bringing in talent like this and guys from the Michigan State like Spencer Brown, plug and play guys, especially with a very young offensive line group coming in. I think Bill B will do what he does. He'll mix around the offensive line throughout the first 5 weeks. You're going to see a lot of different lineups, a lot of different variances of experiences, but bringing a guy like this that can be plug and play, fit in and then mold the other offensive linemen around him with Spencer Brown as well. Definitely a good fit, good pickup for heading into the SEC, where you have to be able to, one, have some good run blocking schemes to run the football, but also protect your best asset in your quarterback. That's what we're worried about. Hopefully that helps solidify that line a little bit more.
Let us know down below in the comments what you think about Hatchett committing to Oklahoma, heading to Oklahoma via the transfer portal. Anybody else, anything on Hatchett before we move on? Cool. OU Junior Day was this last week. They got another one coming up this week, I believe. Where's the next?
I
can't remember.
I don't know. We schedule these things, so I don't really get it. But there was one this past week. I believe there's one this coming weekend. So if you're listening on Wednesday when this thing drops, this coming weekend, and I don't know most of the names that we're seeing, but you see reports of 25, 30 plus offers extended out to these guys. And you start to look at who was in the building, right? And I was able to find a list on Sooners Wire. So shout out to the homies at Sooners Wire. That is not super comprehensive, but it includes, and I'll just read it all off, right? Elijah Thomas, Owen Hollenbeck, Kevin Sperry, Kamori Moore, who are all commits already, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Emmanuel Choice, Cole Breeler, Demarius Robinson, Max Granville, Kobe Sellers, Dejon Petaway. Got to be related, right? Got to be related.
Got to be.
Tristan Haynes, who is, I think, also, no, Trinae Washington is committed. Tristan Haynes is not. Omarion Robinson, Landon Ring, Jonah Williams, the 5-star linebacker safety from Galveston. There's 2 5-stars among that list, a whole ton of 4 stars, and a couple 3 stars too. Did anyone stand out there to you guys? Torrey Blaylock, also 4-star running back out of Atascocita. He's a legacy, and I was undefeated against Atascocita playing high school football. So it's just one of those things that you have to keep in mind when you're looking at
it's a major factor
like that. Super fast, but could he have beaten me back in the day? Maybe not. Something to factor into his
Mark.
Did any of those names
shaking,
stick out to you guys?
That was like over 10 years ago.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
No,
it feels bad. It was bad.
Dude, my favorite thing is like Patrick's listening. Patrick's listening to this right now, and Patrick, I can guarantee you, is saying like, "Yeah, he's shaking in his boots when he has to play Kingwood."
Bang.
I guarantee you, because that's what he says.
It is.
No, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with the people. Like, I feel plugged into the recruiting realm, but like, it's really when their senior year starts. Like when we get into May and those guys turn into seniors and we're ready for their senior year, that's when I get plugged in hard with these guys. Like, you know the names like Kevin Sperry, like, right? You're going to know that name. But the one that Mark mentioned, the running back who is a legacy, the 4-star, that's a fun addition. It's I'm curious to see how they're going to
Not
build on
committed.
this. And what?
Not committed, but visited.
Yeah, not committed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know if maybe I was confusing when I said that. But the main thing that I want to see out of this, yes, a lot of offers extended, but whether we want to think about it or not, the Alabama effect with no Nick Saban is coaches are going to have to start like working off of that. Like you're in the SEC now, you're going to have to start getting to these guys from a very young age. Not only pitching you're the SEC, but you're the new contender in the SEC. Like Nick Saban ain't there no more. And
Perfect
obviously
example.
Georgia's there.
Number 1, Caleb Cunningham, 5-star wide receiver out of Ackerman, Mississippi, chose to come to the Oklahoma Junior Day last week. Now, I'm sure he's going to be at another one this coming week. That's how this stuff works with these guys. But that's a player that could be anywhere in the entire country. And all of a sudden, the weekend's open. And maybe Alabama wouldn't have chosen to do it the same day because back in the day or last season, we chose to have some of our weekends the same time as some of these other big schools because you have to show us that you want to show Oklahoma what you're about, right? But we pulled a guy straight out of Mississippi. Apologies to you, Jeff Lebby, but he's not coming to you. He's coming back home. He's going to come to Oklahoma. I hope. Ball's not dropped yet, but super dope picture with Emmett Jones and some of the other guys at the receiver position he dropped on Instagram. So, hey, fingers crossed, right?
Fingers
That's
crossed.
a fun one. And it speaks to your point about that guy could just be at Alabama. He's not.
Matt?
I got nothing, to be honest.
Right.
It's cool to see the names, cool to see everything, and let BV and the coaching staff evaluate. But we do this year in, year out, so we'll actually see in the next couple or year and off season what guys are going to commit or what would be on OU's radar. But a little too early for me.
Yeah, you guys covered everything really well. It's for me, it's too early. I completely agree with Mason. I don't really feel like I get into this until probably this summer. Just
that's kind
because
of
there's so many variables happening, and I know we have like 4 or 5 or 6 maybe committed already, which is awesome. Like I'm really excited about that. But at the same time, like just with where college football is nowadays, like I have to be a little closer to the time to really say, like, oh, okay, I'm in this. I understand everything. I'm starting to learn these names. Now, what I will say is I am not the football coach of the University of Oklahoma, and I'm glad that they're not acting like me and that they are pushing forward and learning all these people's names and bringing them in early. I think that's all really, really important stuff. I'm glad about the process. Just me specifically, I think there's going to be too much change over the next 5 months to really like get roots down and start to understand who these people are other than, some of the bigger names.
Yeah. June, July, where I'm 6 to 5 months out and I can really lock in.
Yeah.
That's the sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
The sweet spot.
Okay, if y'all aren't going to hit on anyone else, I've got 2 more guys. That
Please do.
Mark is like, you useless people.
Are you going to drop? Balls?
I wouldn't say that. It's just that like these are names to be on the lookout for because they're guys that Oklahoma has been recruiting for a while now, and they're guys that made the trip, right? Tristan Haynes out of Carl Albert. That's basically a pipeline at this point. I'm looking at On3. They've got him at 97.4%. to go Oklahoma. I thought he was going to commit to OU before teammate Trene Washington did. So 6'2", 160 pounds, got to put some weight on him. That's what Jerry Schmidt's for. Love that visit, I guess, to the junior day. The other one, this is the really exciting one. Lamont Rogers, the offensive tackle out of Mesquite Horn High School. He is 6'8", 305. Skeet, baby.
Skeet, baby.
Good, baby. He is 6'8", 305, and he plays basketball too. So you just know he's got better feet than he ought to have. And as far as I know, we're the leader in the clubhouse. Now, 2 hours ago, I'm on his Twitter. 2 hours ago, he got an offer from Oregon. So we'll see how long we remain the leader in the clubhouse. But hey, that's a good guy to have come to town as well. So look out for both of those two guys to spend continued time on campus, see if they can get them up there as much as they possible.
Yep. Let us know down below in the comments your thoughts on OU Junior Day. We read every single one of your comments. All right, boys. NFL playoff time. The NFL playoffs continue to roll on. The NFC and AFC championship are wrapped up. The Super Bowl is set. Is the 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs. San Francisco 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll start with the Niners topping the Lions. Thoughts? Well, I want to start with you, Ryan. Your opening thoughts on the 49ers pretty impressive comeback to top the Lions.
I think the moral of this game and the story of it is you live and die by Dan Campbell's aggressiveness. And throughout this entire year, the Lions have really flourished around that aggressiveness, going for it on fourth down quite frequently, going for two quite frequently. Dan Campbell is not afraid to do that. And I think that's something that he has been looked at as, like a positive, a real positive, especially this year with how far he's taken this team. And I feel like they kind of died by that, unfortunately, this game. I think there was a couple strong questionable decisions that were made when they were in field goal range, and he decided to go for fourth down, especially in the second half, when everything kind of started to fall apart for the Lions, where they turned it over on downs, and they ended up losing this game by 3. And I know hindsight is 20/20, but I think that in these situations, when you're in a NFC championship game like this, trying to go to the Super Bowl, you take the points. I like, in my opinion, you take the points. Now, does that mean that you should be, if you're a Lions fan, just be super upset that Dan Campbell is making these decisions? I don't think so. I think this is who he is. Like, this is who your coach is, and I don't think he's going to change that.
Yeah.
So I think I think that both of those teams are incredibly strong. I think 49ers showed in the second half that overall they are the stronger team. But the Lions had a great season, and I'm really happy for Detroit that they've won a couple games in the postseason in the first time in like 30 years. I think that's awesome. I am saying that as a Minnesota Vikings fan, so it means something. But yeah, I think the Lions are going to be good next year. 49ers have a good chance in the Super Bowl. I think overall, though, it was kind of I wouldn't say self-destruction, but it was tough. That third quarter was tough when they came back in 17 points in like 8 minutes. That was a tough situation for the Lions, and at that point I was like, this game's over. They can't compete at this level. So
yeah,
that's my thoughts on that game.
Matt Gann.
Yeah, absolute choke job by the Lions. You just can't give up 27 straight points. I mean, hey, all credit to the Lions. They had a fantastic year. I'm not going to take away everything that they accomplished. I mean, Dan Campbell was 3-13 a couple years back. They were 0-13 to start, ended 3 games and went 9-8, and now they were playing for an NFC championship. So, and the Lions, who got Jared Goff in that trade for Matthew Stafford, the Rams ended up winning the Super Bowl. Everyone thought Jared Goff was going to die. They sent him to the Lions to die, essentially. And he proved them wrong. And that was such a great story. I mean, watching Dan Campbell in the Hard Knocks, I mean, who wouldn't want to play for this guy? But his aggressive play calling came up short in this game multiple times. Should have took the field goal when they had the chance. The last drive that they had where they decided to run the ball in 3rd and 4th and had to burn a timeout, which then forced them to do an onside kick, which is nearly impossible to do and to recover in the NFL. Again, Ryan said it right. You live and die by the sword. That's what he's done all year long. That's what he continued to do even in the NFC Championship game. But I think it's inexcusable to give up 27 straight points. I mean, that third quarter was one of the hardest things to watch. I mean, multiple turnovers. But the Lions do have a good future. They got some electric playmakers on their team, and they'll continue to get better. But 49ers, definitely not the best team that day. They just overcame a lot, and the Lions really choked it away for the most part.
Yeah, the only thing that I have for this is it just goes to show that being at home in a scenario like this matters a lot. I think if the Lions go up 24-7 at half, they may roll in the second half. And San Francisco gets no momentum.
You
Like
talking
San
about
Francisco,
if Detroit is at home?
yeah, if Detroit is
Okay.
at home. I think if Detroit's the home team, this game is a runaway. But because San Francisco was at home and they deserve to be, one seed, you deserve to be, you get that first touchdown and then you're like, okay, look at that. It's only a 10-point game now or whatever it is. And then they're able to go on a run, 27 straight. Like that's, to me, I get in college football how important home field advantage is. I don't think people understand how hard it is to win on the road in January in the NFL. Like you need to be a very, very complete team to win road games this late in the season. And unfortunately, it just didn't pan out for Detroit. I think the 49ers deserve it though. Like let's not take anything away from them to come back like that. Like they were the 1 seed. They were the presumptive team to go to the Super Bowl, probably the odds-on favorite out of the NFC. Maybe the Eagles, but yeah, I like what I see out of the 49ers. I still think the Chiefs are better and probably win the game, but that's another story.
Yeah, it's interesting. All of you made great points. Whoever said the thing about Jared Goff, man, look at the way Jared Goff has turned his career around. How awesome is that? It's so easy to root for this Lions team. That said, the Niners are better on both sides of the football at almost every position, right? Like it's not insane to say something like that. I think that the Niners are really lucky that Brock Purdy decided, hey, I'm going to run right now.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't say, hey, I'm going to run right now in situations where I've never run before in my, in this season, in my career, in some instances, if I don't do it right now, then we're going to lose this game. And that's the same decision that Dan Campbell was not able to make, because over the long term, Dan Campbell's decision making, I think, is right. You try to be aggressive. You push. I liken it to blackjack, as many Twitter users have joked about online, right? Like, oh, he sees an 18, hit me, right? It doesn't make sense to do that in the short term, though. It makes sense to do it when when the end is infinity. It doesn't make sense when it's, I need to win this one game and the timeline is so much shorter. Taking those points before the half, you have to do it. 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 I like that he is so aggressive. I like the kind of football guy that he is. I don't think he's like a huge analytics guy, and that's one of my favorite things. He's just like, we're going for
guy.
It. His vibes just are almost all.
Oh yeah, it's all vibes. It's all vibes. All vibes all the time.
He's so great, and even though I think Matt's Green Bay Packers are almost have to be viewed as a presumptive favorite in the NFC North next season, out of Jordan Love's.
Hey, what about the Vikings, bro?
Everyone else, about the Vikings. You know what about the Vikings? Fucking Dobbs.
Just the classic
Geirean Hall.
Classic Vikings here.
I'm a Falcons fan. Come on. No, incredible game by both teams, though, right? I'm glad that the Niners won for the game next week. I think that it's going to be a better game, but man, this Lions team is fun. Jahmyr Gibbs, he's a lot of fun. Didn't really work out for him this game, but I'm a big fan.
St. Brown is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Glad he was at USC before Lincoln.
Sam Laporta too. A lot of good
Sam Laporta.
a lot of good draft picks. They've been doing a really good job of drafting.
They've done well.
players
Malcolm
last year.
Rodriguez with the pick. He was a good find.
Instant
as
impact guys. Brian Branch is
Brian Branch,
instantly
yeah.
good. Yeah. Jack Campbell, he's a starter at linebacker immediately. And yeah, linebacker is like not a high value position, but when you have guys at those high value positions, it's a good call.
Yep. Big facts. All right, Matt. Chiefs win 17-10 over the Baltimore Ravens. Were you surprised?
Not surprised, but I think it's another choke job by the Ravens. I think this past weekend showed that both teams, the Lions and the Ravens, had ample opportunities to both beat the Chiefs and the Niners. Zay Flowers, obviously, on that one drive, having a taunting penalty and then fumbling before. I think that was obviously a better play by the Kansas City defensive back, Trey McDuffie. What a pickup by Kansas City, or the draft they got from him. But Kansas City's defense is legit. I actually think their defense is going to be better than San Francisco. San Francisco's defense has not been the same of old the last few years, but the Chiefs' defense to hold Lamar and company to 10 points. I think after the first half, Lamar only had 5 completed passes. One of them was to himself on that funky play where it got batted up in the air. And, obviously Lamar Jackson being the most athletic guy is able to find it and scoop it. But the Lions, again, or not the Lions, the Ravens had every opportunity. They stopped running the ball all of a sudden in the second half. I think the game plan by the offensive coordinator just didn't make sense for me. Way too much throwing of the ball when they came in, the number 1 rush offense in the league. Not sure why they totally got away from that, even though the Chiefs do have a good run D. You rely heavily on your offensive line all year, and you just go drop back Lamar, 30 plus times. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me from that standpoint. But Lamar also just he didn't look comfortable. The pass rush was getting to him. But again, after all that said and done, to only score 10 points and still have the opportunities to win a couple of different times, I think says a lot about this Kansas City team. And Patrick Mahomes had a vintage game with Travis Kelce and company. Looked like the days of old getting back to it. And Kansas City has not played as well this year, but definitely playing a lot better in the playoffs. And they've never played road games before in the playoffs. This is the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career where he had to go on the road, and he's proven why he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks of all time, going 2-0 against 2 very quality opponents.
Yeah, dude. Typical Pat Mahomes game there. I was watching that game, and I think after like the first drive, I was kind of like, okay, yeah, this is about to be like Mahomes versus you, and you got to do something. And they didn't. They had the opportunities, like you said, Matt. They just literally and figuratively fumbled it away. And they just weren't able to come out on top. I don't necessarily put it on Lamar. I know that's the narrative, right? People are gonna spew the Lamar hate and all that stuff, but I don't necessarily put it on Lamar. I just think also Travis Kelce, after like kind of a low key year, like Travis Kelce
did it take us this long?
I know,
his first half was insane,
dude. Nuts.
I won't interrupt anymore, but he was nuts. Yeah,
no, he was.
We need some
phenomenal.
more interrupting.
Yeah, we do. He was phenomenal. He was good the game before, like 2 touchdowns the game before, I believe. Like, he's a stud. He's really good. And you can hate all you want about the Taylor Swift stuff. That's beside the point.
I was waiting to when it was going to be.
They're freaking good. Also, I want to get you guys' take on this. The pregame Justin Tucker
Yeah, it
stuff.
Is a psyop.
It's
not
psyop,
that?
yeah.
Not that? Oh, okay.
No, not that. The pregame Justin Tucker, like, warming up where Patrick Mahomes is warming up.
That was so weird.
I think it's Bush League by Tucker. Honestly,
why is he on the goal line?
Yes,
I was very confused.
I had people telling me like, "Oh, it's completely normal for kickers to warm up on both sides of the field," and I go, "Okay, fine." At the goal line,
like that makes
at the goal line, he's setting up his kicking apparatus at the goal line. Give me a break.
Michael Tucker said after Justin Tucker, my bad, Michael Tucker, Justin Tucker, Michael Tucker must die. That's what it was.
John Tucker must die.
John Tucker, Lord Almighty. You're just
yeah. It's all right.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Stupid. Justin Tucker even said after, like, no, it's just like that's gamesmanship. Like he
Yeah.
knows he shouldn't be there when they're
Yeah.
doing that. He's trying to F with their heads just by being in their midst, and they were right to do it. That's football.
Yeah. Which is like,
Oh, he could be on both sides. Shut up.
Which like the kicker, like I get you're probably the greatest kicker of all time, but like your kicker is the dude trying to get in heads, like Patrick Mahomes' head. That's who you're gonna ride with. The dude who's on the field for 5 snaps a game. Like, nah, fam. That's weird to me. I don't know. Okay, I'm done.
Go Ryan.
Okay. I am surprised about this game. I thought the Ravens coming into the playoffs, especially after their performance against Houston, who I thought is actually a pretty good team. I thought they were, I'm not going to say dominate, but I thought they would put on a show that was pretty strong. And Kansas City has been flaky all season, really. They really have. They haven't had a wonderful season.
Yeah.
Their offense has been sketchy at times because they don't really have any wide receivers.
No.
But of course, we get into an AFC championship and you have Andy Reid and you have Patrick Mahomes and you have Travis Kelce. And then somehow they have turned into the best defense in the NFL. And I just, look, good for Kansas City. Whatever. Awesome. Get to 6 AFC championships in a row, get to 4 Super Bowls out of the last 5.
Dynasty.
It's fine. I kind of, now that we're on the other end of this, it makes sense on why they're here to me. Like I got to the point where I was like, they have become the most complete team in the NFL. And they're somehow doing it really without any wide receivers because Travis Kelce has decided to be Travis Kelce again for the last two games. And Patrick Mahomes is being Patrick Mahomes again. And then you add in this very, very good defense. That fumble punch out by
Huge.
McDuffie was unbelievable. Just like the talent that it takes to do that. When you have that defense backing up the best quarterback in the game and the best receiver, tight end situation, whatever Kelsey's got going on, like, how are you going to beat this team? Like, I don't. We'll see next week, but I don't know. I watched these 2 games and I was like, no one has done this to the Ravens all year. No one. And Kansas City just came in to their home and punched them in the mouth when no one thought they were going to. And they just have the most talent on the field. They just have the best players on the field, and usually that's who wins.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that we got here. I was a little surprised when I was watching the game because I thought the Ravens would put up a better fight. But at the end of the day, I think Patrick Mahomes and Kelce and Andy Reid and this defense are just playing on a different level right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna zag on all of this. I was very surprised. I am Q Tiger King. I am never going to financially recover from this. The Ravens absolutely blew this game, and I don't blame Lamar Jackson. I think it would be wild to blame Lamar when the situation he's put in, as Matt alluded to, is throwing the ball 37 times, and being put in a situation where his running backs, 2 running backs, Gus Edwards and Justice Hill, combined, these are the only other backs who touch the ball. They combined for 6 carries in the entire game.
Yeah, that's bad.
It can't happen.
At most, the Ravens were only ever down 10. Todd Monken, for some reason, went from this really, like, it's a balanced attack that sure opened the field up for Lamar, but it certainly didn't abandon the run. These are still the Ravens, right? This team was still built on the ability to run the football, but now you have some guys, some Zay Flowers, some Odell Beckham, some Nelson Aguilar, some who the last guy I'm not thinking of. It doesn't matter.
Isaiah Likely,
Mark Andrews. They have weapons, right? And the offense was built to open it up. It wasn't built to abandon the run, and they absolutely did that. The Chiefs scored on their first 2 drives and then didn't score another touchdown. They scored a field goal on their last drive before the end of the first half. That's it. The
Didn't
defense
score.
did its job.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton played well. Travis Kelce had a kick-ass first half and then nothing else. Isaiah Pacheco goes 24 for 68. That's 2.8 a carry. The Ravens should have won this game. In hindsight, though, like Ryan said, gosh darn it, I am not that surprised, because you just watch Patrick Mahomes and you start to understand why the Ravens feel like they have to be attacking at all times, because he just feels like, oh, even if you score, all right, I'm gonna score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I know I only have 14 on the board touchdown wise. I'm gonna put another one up if you do. I'm just a little bit better. He's just always a little bit better. That was when Ryan said they were rickety this season, or however you said it. You said it beautifully. They did that all the way to an 11-6 record. You know, any of our teams do that, and we're looking at 7-8,
Yeah.
7-9.
Yeah, but we don't have the best
7-10.
player in the
Oh my
NFL.
God.
I know.
7-10.
Like,
Season's crazy. And that's Patrick Mahomes. Because I disagree with something that you said, Ryan. I think the Ravens had the most talented team on the field. And Patrick Mahomes is just that uber talented guy. He is just that next level thing that takes you above and beyond. So I'm a proud owner of a Kansas City Chiefs money line bet going into the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And you know, cards on the table kind of thing. But I was surprised that they beat the Ravens in Baltimore. I thought that home field would really do something different.
No. I was working and I was watching the game simultaneously with a guy who had I think he teased it to the over at 39.5. And brother, he was not happy with those turnovers near the goal line. And yeah, he was hurting because they started off touchdown. So he was like, I'm in. Like, we're good. And then just the wheels come off. And it was tough. I felt for him. Shout out William. Sorry, brother.
Something weird, man. Like, why do you just stop running the football?
I don't know. But it's gonna be a good Super Bowl. I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk Super Bowl next week, but we'll give picks next week. I feel like we won't lock anybody in a week out, because I think the Chiefs have some injuries that they're waiting to hear on, that we'll see who's in, who's out, like that. Not sure about the 49ers necessarily. But I know that
I feel like wasn't 100 last game. Second half he played really well, but he was 50-50 going in, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks off, he'll be fine probably.
Yep. It'll be interesting. Also with Brock Purdy going to the Super Bowl, that means Jalen Hurts goes to the Pro Bowl. So Boomer Sooner, I guess.
Did you see Baker got in over Dak, is replacing Dak? Is that right?
Yeah, I think that you're right. It's Baker and Tristan Wirfs, I think.
Yep.
From the
I don't
from
remember
Bucks.
who the tackle was though,
Oh, I don't remember either.
because the Pro Bowl is honestly a joke.
Yeah, it's not even a thing anymore.
Like-
It's just a bunch of like games.
Yeah, it's dodgeball. But like last year, Tyler Huntley made it, and he was the Ravens' backup. So like the Pro Bowl is kind of silly, but hey, shout out OU, man.
Yeah.
And then 2 quarterbacks. We've got more players going to the Super Bowl than any other team.
2 years in a row.
8, right?
Heck yeah.
My
Thank you,
Yeah, dude.
Chiefs.
You want to get paid?
dude.
You want to get rings? You come to Oklahoma. My God.
Also, shout out to Blake Bell, who's parlayed a fantastic
It really has.
NFL career. Like, what a NFL career for a dude who started as like a gimmick quarterback in college, right? And now he's like the second or number 3 tight end on a Super Bowl winning team going to another Super Bowl. I think he has 2 rings already. He has 2 rings already, and he's going
been
for
on
a
the
third.
team for 2 of them.
Yeah, dude. That's cool. Good for him, man. That's
Shout
cool.
out. Isn't he the first Kansas City Sooner? Like of this iteration?
Uh-huh,
Or is
yeah.
it Winchester? Or is it Winchester?
Oh no, I think it's Blake Bell, and then I think it's Winchester.
Okay.
And then Creed.
And then Wanya.
And Wanya. Creed and Wanya.
And
So-
before that, Orlando Brown. Because Andy Reid knows where his bread gets freaking buttered.
He knows it. He's
Phil
well aware.
Fedenbaugh.
He knows. All right, boys. PGP MVP of the week time. Let's go ahead and get our MVPs for the week. Matt Gann, we'll start with you, brother.
WaGanns or MVP?
Oh, WaGanns, dude. Yes, WaGanns. No. Circle him.
I thought
Circle him.
Mason was
Circle him.
zagging. I didn't know.
Circle
We
him.
were-
I messed up. No, I'm out of practice.
Well,
I'm out of
it's been so
practice.
long, huh? It's
Yeah.
been so long. Yeah, let me give it
go
to you
ahead.
guys. I got a lot of updates.
I'm ready.
And actually, the first update I was going to give is the trivia question that Mark just alluded to. OU does have the most back-to-back players. You guys named all of them except one guy. Who are we missing? There were 6 total.
Trent
You guys
Williams.
named 5. That is the 6th player. 6 total players, most back-to-back. So that was the fun trivia question, but I got squashed pretty quick. So I'm going to jump into the other
Bang.
sports.
Isn't
Better
Braden
playing.
Willis on the practice squad?
He
Yes.
is on the practice
He's
squad.
counted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who
We
is?
counted him? Okay.
Yep.
Braden Willis.
Yep.
He's on the practice. Man, that's
For
let's get him
Niners,
active
right?
for the game.
I
Niners.
think.
Let's get him
Niners.
active for the game.
Yeah, let's get him
I
active.
wanna-
Get him
God,
active.
I want to hit a Blake Bell touchdown, Braden Willis touchdown parlay. Let's put me in a nicer house.
Let's get weird. Let's get weird.
Especially after Baltimore took away your house. No, I'm just
But-
kidding.
This might be the last time you see me here.
It's all Fugazi. That's
It's
it.
nice.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
great, but
Yeah.
Vegas they got me.
Yeah. All right,
I
Matt.
got
Go
you
ahead.
indeed, and I got you with some tennis updates. Not the Australian Open, but men's and women's tennis. Women's tennis currently overall 3-3. Had some pretty bad, or not bad losses, but played some very competitive opponents. Number 4 Michigan, number 14 Ohio State, losing both those games competitively. 4-3 in each of those. Came back and rebounded against number 23 UCF, beat them 4-0, and lost to Cali 4-3. They'll play San Diego and NC State this weekend. Men's tennis off to a better start, 5-1. Recently beat Illinois State and Washington, and then lost to Patrick's Volunteers, who are number 6 in the nation, 4-1. They will play Wichita State and Tulsa this weekend. Men's basketball really trending down when they were trending up to start the season. They are 15-5 overall. Not a bad overall record, but when you look at the schedule, the wins have really come against soft opponents. They're currently 3-4 in Big 12 play with some really bad losses to Texas at home, 75-60. And again, we've talked about choking pretty much all pod with 2 of the NFL teams. OU men's basketball completely choking away that game against Texas Tech at home, 85-84. And those are games you just can't afford to lose in the Big 12 when you're playing at home.
Not at home.
In the gauntlet that Big 12 is, when there's 6 teams and week in and week out you're playing these opponents, you have to get those wins at home. OU's men's basketball just currently not playing well. A lot of discombobulation, and Porter Moser might be looking on the way out if he doesn't change around this sometime soon. They actually are playing Kansas State currently, so we'll know the score of that when this pod drops. And they'll play UCF this weekend. So hopefully we can get some good bounce back wins. OU's women's basketball trending the opposite direction. Had a very slow start to the year. They're overall 13-6, but they are 7-1 in conference play. And they have some big wins when they played Texas, who was number 12 at the time, beat them at Austin 91-87, beat the Lady Jayhawks 60-55, and they're currently taking on number 2 in the nation, the Kansas State Lady Wildcats tonight. Hopefully they can get another big win in Big 12 play before they take on the Lady Cowgirls this weekend in Stillwater. So good for Jenny B. Just 2 programs trending the opposite directions as of now. The last 2 updates I got are men's gym and women's gym. Men's gym 3-1. They'll take on Ohio State this weekend, and women's gym off to another hot start, trying to defend back-to-back titles, 10-0. They recently beat Denver, UCLA, and Stanford, and they will compete against Arizona State and California this weekend. And softball also ranks number 1 in the pre-national polls. So a lot of sports playing, a lot of good programs, getting off some good starts. Hopefully they can keep it up that circle the WaGanns.
Shout out to them stretchy boys and gals.
I've missed hearing Matt just go in on all the sports so much.
Same.
It's a
Go
good
on.
it's a
been
good
3
reminder.
weeks. Like
Yep.
I don't follow everything as closely as I
No.
could. And so Matt Gann is really my insight into the wider SUNY world.
Dude, I rely on Matt hard during baseball season. Hard.
Dude,
Hard
I
during
rely on
baseball.
Matt hard too, but for different reasons.
Yeah, facts. Big facts. Yeah.
If anyone's curious, the OU score is 8-0 with 12 minutes left in the first half.
So Sooners up.
Sooners up. Kansas State is 0 of 11,
Heck
This
yeah.
definitely
Field
won't
goals.
come back to bite us.
and
This
OU
definitely won't
is
come back to bite us.
3 of 12. I'm not even watching this game. This is a hideous game.
I'm not. I can't turn. Dude, I literally can't.
So,
I was talking to somebody today. I can't do OU basketball right now. Like they don't have the dude who I can like latch onto. Like I could latch on to Buddy, and even those Trey Young teams weren't even great, but Trey made them fun to watch. Like they don't even have that.
This is the OU basketball problem is for the last 15 years, going on 20 years we're getting to now. That's too much. But Blake Griffin, right?
Mhm.
Player of the year. Buddy Hield, player of the year. Stayed for 4 years, Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Trey Young, player of the year as a freshman, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's not.
The only teams we've really had that we like really needed to buy into all had superstars,
Mhm.
all had, lottery picks on them. And I'm not sure this team has that guy. They were playing a lot better earlier in the season. Got to see him turn around in the Big 12, but like, I don't even think they have, Matt, do we have anyone that might get drafted?
Not that I can think of. No, on
Right?
this
It
team.
doesn't
I don't
feel
think
like
they
it.
have that level. At least not in the first 2 or 3 rounds. Which
There's
you
only
know,
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the NBA, yeah. If you're not
Yeah.
going the first round, it's kind of
like, we don't have a big man, like at all. Like it drives me absolutely insane when I'm watching this team. Anyway, I'm sorry. You guys,
Nah, I mean
we move on.
that's all
I
I
don't want
got.
to dread too much.
I can't-
It's
just
the depth
just
lineup.
everyone look at my all my texts that I send to the guys when I'm watching a OU basketball game. It's just like
I relate,
doomsday.
man. There's just it's not fun. They make me want to drink bleach sometimes when I watch them, man. It's tough. All right, our PGP MVP of the week. We'll start with Matt, like I was the first time.
the guys. I'm going to give a future LVP. Future
Oh.
LVP. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to go ahead and give my prediction for the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Future
no.
LVP. I'm going to give you guys a fun stat. The 49ers are wearing white in the Super Bowl. If anyone knows the fun stat, teams wearing white are 16-3 in the last 19 years. One of those losses were the 49ers. They're going to make it 2 in 2 weeks. I got Kansas City, future LVP, San Francisco 49ers. Give me the Chiefs, baby. Give me Kelsey. Kelsey's going to propose to Taylor Swift after the game, after that victory. It's all
Like
gonna
they're in
happen.
high school.
Future LVP of the Niners.
Like they're in high school. or something.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Nah,
It's like
the-
on TV.
honestly, I'd be like, hey,
I'd be like, hell yeah, go for
Commitment-
it, man.
commitment
And
to
then
the
he
bit.
retires. It's
commitment to
great.
the bit, man. I love
I
it.
just want to say
Oh.
we got to embrace the dynasty that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are building. This is another Patriots dynasty. We need to embrace it. I hate to say it, but
Oh yeah, I mean
it's
they're
already happened.
It's gonna be better.
they're because
Patrick Mahomes is much younger than Tom Brady was.
yeah,
And
At
he's
the
on a
time.
good pace, right? Like
Yeah.
Brady had 3 and 4 years very young.
yeah.
Mahomes doesn't yet have that, but he's on pace. He gets this
Let's-
one, man. He's got a lot of years left.
And let's be real, Brady had Peyton Manning to deal with for some time. All due respect, Josh Allen ain't the dude to get Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, but the AFC has so many quarterbacks compared to the NFC, and he's there beating all of them, right?
Yeah.
He's just better.
Because
He's
it's
just better.
Allen, it's Mason, it's Tua, right?
Lamar.
It's Joe Burrow, it's Lamar. He's
Herbert.
beat all of these guys. It's Herbert. He's beat all
With
of
Harbaugh
these
now, yeah.
guys almost every single year. He's different.
I think Harbaugh is going to be real upset having to play Patrick Mahomes twice a year. I don't think he's going to be hella happy about that. That's going to not be fun.
I want him to bench Herbert just for some goofy guy.
Dude,
so
yeah,
bad.
just like
it won't
just
happen. He's too good. But gosh,
literally just vibes. Like literally just that, just vibes.
JJ
That's why he's
McCarthy
benched.
falls just
That
a little
is-
too far.
That's what I'm thinking. He's gonna pull JJ in and he's gonna be like, I need you in your meditation.
Yeah, he'd
And
be like, this guy knows how to win.
you
Maybe Justin
are-
can learn something.
You are the new starter. And Herbert's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
Like, you're literally paying.
yeah, you're paying me a lot of money, right? Like you know that, like an extraordinary amount. Ryan, who's your MVP?
My MVP is Andy Reid. Which I know is just a chalk answer, but it's just incredibly impressive what he's done the past couple weeks, taking a team that honestly I was like, oh, they don't have home field for the first time like in Pat Mahomes' career.
Mhm.
They're finally going to lose. They're finally not going to make it to the AFC Championship. They're finally not going to win the AFC. And yet here we are, them going into the Super Bowl again. And I am also going to spoil my pick for next week. I think they're going to win. So I just got to give it up to Andy Reid. I think he's an incredible coach, and a lot of people sometimes I think people put him into like the top tier, but man, he's there and he's great. So
Yeah,
Andy Reid.
They're reporting around like, oh, if Reed retires, maybe Belichick takes over. Belichick is like 6 years older than Andy Reid.
yeah,
Why wouldn't
Yeah.
he just stick around with the best quarterback anyone's ever seen and
Yeah.
ride that thing out?
yeah. I completely agree. Mark, who's your MVP?
Yeah, I'm gonna go LVP. Something that, hey, it probably doesn't fit in our whole podcast thing, but we got to talk about it a little bit. Tennessee getting hit with these NIL
yeah.
violations
Yeah.
surrounding their recruitment of Nico.
Patrick's not here.
Nico,
Patrick's calling it
I-
a sham.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I wish that Patrick was here because he could maybe break down for us all the ways that they broke the rules. That would be a lot of fun. This does feel a little bit, unfortunately, to me, similar to the goofy stuff that they got Michigan on, where like, yeah, I know you got to cross your T's and dot your I's, make sure like the right people are picking people up from the airport, doing your transportation, right? All this stuff is important. Same time, it's kind of goofy. And yet, super LVP is Tennessee because they are going to get some kind of punishment from this, some kind of sanction, some kind of fine, some kind of something from this. And if you're listening by chance, Zalance heard, flip that commitment, baby.
Flip
There's
it.
time left. I don't
Flip it.
care. Hey,
Lot
transfer
of time.
again. You look, appeal the thing, okay?
Mhm.
You can transfer so easily. They
Easy.
don't even care anymore.
No, they don't care.
5-star. That's my LVP. Patrick's Tennessee Volunteers. Sorry, Pat. Love you, buddy.
My MVP is Mrs. Prince. It's her birthday today, January 31st. Shout out Mrs. Prince, 29.
Love you, Leanne.
29. Katie
No,
Prince.
this is
Katie
Katie.
Prince. Katie
He's-
Prince,
Sorry.
29.
29 and
But
he's like,
Leanne appreciates it as well.
I was just
Leanne-
thinking Mrs. Prince is like
Yeah.
your mom, but yeah.
I know,
No,
right?
we are, dude. We're
No,
old
now
now.
we're
It's
married.
like-
We're
No,
we're
it all
old
makes
as hell.
sense.
Yeah, but love you, babe. Happy birthday. Also, quick LVP. Anyone who says they're not watching the Super Bowl, why are you lying? Why are you lying?
Yeah, they're lying.
Why are you lying? You want to boycott Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? Fine. Whatever.
She's still gonna.
You're
be
gonna
there.
watch.
She's
think
gonna.
it's such a
She's gonna
online
walk
group.
off the stage in Tokyo and fly her ass back to Las Vegas and somehow get there in time. And I don't know how that works with the timelines.
No, it's Mark,
apparently
it's
it does.
It's
So-
it's the every Twitter avatar, sunglasses, picture in the car dad who's not gonna watch.
yeah.
But they're gonna watch, and
I
they're
know.
gonna tweet
Yes,
through it.
I
They're gonna
know.
be mad every time she's on
Yes.
screen. And also, the crazy thing about the Taylor Swift NFL phenomenon is we're like doing math on her technical ability to travel
It's amazing.
from Japan to Las
amazing.
Vegas, and before it's even confirmed that she wants to do that, It's like, well, if she takes this flight, the way the time zone works, she could get a few hours of sleep before
Crazy. It's
What
wild,
are
dude.
they doing? It's
I don't know.
It's icky. And
Yeah, it's
also,
weird.
it's a psyop.
There you go. Mark's in on it. Mark's in on it. Cassandra. Cassandra, he's calling you out. It's a psyop.
Listen, what are you talking about?
It's all right, Katie doesn't need it.
It's been what episode is this? 107. It's been 104 episodes since
Same.
she listened to an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same
but
on
yeah.
my side too.
Yeah. But that's going to do it for this week's episode. Be sure to like, subscribe. If you're watching, you can follow us on all of our social media at Program Guys with a Z. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of that good stuff. That's going to do it. We'll see you next week. We're talking Super Bowl next week. Going to be a good time. Matt, take us out, brother.
Keep pushing it, baby.
3, 2, 1.
There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being